Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mindset, Money, Success. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about 5 shocking truths behind narcissistic future faking, the soulmate illusion. And we're going to get into that episode. So, we're going to get into this after this short information about becoming a school content creator.
Hello, it's Loraine here. And before we get into today's podcast, let me tell you about School. It's the all-in-one platform that coaches, trainers and creators like us use to share content, engage our audience and build recurring revenue. Whether you're through free membership or paid subscriptions, think $10 to $50 a month or even high-ticket upsells. School makes it stupidly simple. There's highly engaged communities, no more ghost towns. Charge monthly or keep it free, you decide. Zero hidden fees. It's just $99 a month after your first 14-day free trial, and you can cancel at any time. Unlimited members, courses and content, all with mobile app to keep your community connected. And the best part, you own the relationship. No algorithms burying your posts. Just your people, your content, your revenue. Are you ready to build your empire? You can grab a free trial and I'll drop the link in the show notes or below the video. Let's get you paid for what you already know.
Okay, let's get into today's podcast about the shocking truths behind narcissistic future faking. It's a seductive illusion of someday. Have you ever been in a relationship that felt like a beautiful dream of the future, yet the reality of the present was confusing and painful? One moment, your partner is painting a vivid, perfect picture of a life together, marriage, travel, a family. And the next, their actions leave you feeling hurt, ignored, and devalued. You hold on to the promise of someday, believing that the person who promises you this incredible future must truly love you. If this experience feels familiar, you have likely encountered a sophisticated manipulation, and it's known as future faking. It's the cornerstone of narcissistic abuse, where a person makes grand promises about the future to gain power and control over you in the present. And this podcast, we're going to check out the simple definition and uncover 5 of the most surprising and insidious truths that lie behind this behaviour. So we're going to look at the psychological mechanics that make it so damaging and difficult to escape. 1, it's fueled by their self-hatred and not your desirability. While being promised a perfect future feels intensely personal, the counterintuitive truth is that it has very little to do with your value. The narcissist's promises are a desperate attempt to soothe their own deep-seated psychic pain. Psychologists agree that narcissism is not rooted in self-love, but in profound self-hatred and shame. This deep shame often stems from a childhood where love was conditional, which teaches them that their authentic self was fundamentally unlovable. By manipulating you into believing their fantasy, they get a fleeting feeling of power and relief from their own sense of weakness and inferiority. When a narcissist manipulates you, it soothes their burning soul like a wet compress on a fevered forehead. But the relief is fleeting. It traps them in an addictive cycle of manufacturing illusions to escape their own psychic pain. 2. They're selling you a future built on your own dreams. A future faker doesn't create a fantasy from scratch. No, they are master manipulators, and it's a tactic called narcissistic mirroring. In the early stages of the relationship, they encourage deep, meaningful conversations designed to get you to reveal your most heartfelt desires, hopes, dreams for the future. This gives them the exact blueprint that they need to construct the perfect illusion. They then mimic your dreams back to you, creating a fantasy based on your own remarks. They'll want a big family if you do, or travel the world, or buy that cottage by the beach that you've always wanted. This is why the connection feels so rare. It's magnetic and uniquely perfect. You believe you've finally met your soulmate, when the reality, you've met someone who is showing you a careful, constructed reflection of yourself. Now, I've been in this position because I remember talking about a dream that I had, and that dream was to live in Spain. And so one of the holidays we had was to go and tour northern Spain so we could look at properties that we might think about purchasing someday. And obviously, that was part of the future faking. And the next time that we went to Spain, we did actually look at properties, and there was a property purchased. And I remember feeling really excited about the opportunity to be able to live in Spain in the house that had just been purchased. And one evening, as we were sitting there, he'd been drinking, and I remember him saying, "I've made a huge mistake." And I was thinking, what? He's just spent sort of thousands buying this house, and now he's sitting here. We've hardly been in this house a couple of weeks, and he's telling me he's made a huge mistake. I couldn't understand it. And I was so upset. I remember feeling so deflated by that, and I ended up crying. So that is part of the whole future faking fantasy. It's your dream. They never wanted that dream, but they purchased that dream to fulfill that fantasy. 3, it's a weapon of distraction, and it's not just an act of seduction. Future faking isn't confined to the initial love bombing phase used to lure you into the relationship. It is a versatile and powerful tool used to control and manipulate throughout the entire abuse cycle. It's a highly effective way to distract from the bad behaviour and avoid accountability. Imagine your partner comes home hours late, having missed dinner that you've made, and without a call or a text. And when you confront them, instead of apologising, they start painting a grand picture of a lavish dinner they'll take you to next week at an expensive restaurant. And suddenly, your focus shifts from their present day neglect to the exciting future promise. The cold spaghetti bolognese is forgotten, and the bad behaviour is swept under the rug. This tactic is also for punishment. They'll dangle the future that you crave, only to snatch it away as a punishment, telling you that you would already be engaged if only you weren't so difficult, or that the dream vacation is on hold because you ruined the mood. This turns your own dreams into a leash, and furthermore, it's a common hoovering tactic. When you've had enough and try to leave, the narcissist will suddenly promise the very changes or commitments they have always withheld, reeling you back in with the hope that this time things will be different. 4. Its real goal is to trap you in a state of confusion. The constant mismatch between a partner's loving words about the future and the harmful actions in the present create a state of profound psychological discomfort known as cognitive dissonance. This confusion is not an unfortunate side effect of the manipulation, it is the primary goal. This tactic is deliberately disorientating. It is designed to make you doubt your own perceptions and question your instincts, and ultimately lose trust in your own reality. This is the painful paradox of hearing someone plan your future home and pets while they refuse to call you their partner in public, or introducing you to their parents as just a friend. Your reality splits in two. The beautiful someday that they promise and the devaluing of right now that they deliver. By keeping you in a state of confusion, the narcissist maintains control as you are too busy trying to reconcile their conflicting behaviours to see the abuse for what it is. This dissonance is deeply disorientating. Survivors often revisit those hopeful words, trying to reconcile them with painful actions. 5. The ultimate litmus test. Actions never lie. Despite the complex psychological games and carefully crafted illusions, there is a simple and powerful way to see the truth. The ultimate litmus test for future faking is to compare your partner's words to their actions. In a healthy relationship, consistency is the hallmark of commitment. Words and actions align. In a manipulative relationship, a pattern of broken promises, shifting goalposts, and a constant state of someday are definite red flags. In a healthy relationship, consistency is the hallmark of commitment. Words and actions align. In a manipulative relationship, a pattern of broken promises, shifting goalposts, and a constant state of someday are the red flags. Beyond just observing, actively listen to your own body. As one therapist notes, your nervous system often registers the danger before your mind can name it. Ask yourself, how does my body feel in their presence? Do I breathe more slowly, or do I breathe more easily? Or do I feel tense, unsure, or small? The physical response is data. It is the most honest feedback that you will ever receive, so trust it. After years of heartache, one survivor looked at the entire deception into a single truth. The future ideals never matched the actions. Reclaiming your present. Future faking is an insidious tactic that works by tethering your emotional well-being to a fantasy that will never materialize. The illusion is a cage built on your own hopes and designed to keep you from seeking the reality where you are free. It keeps you emotionally invested and trapped, always waiting for a someday that the abuser has no intention of delivering. The first step to breaking free is to stop focusing on their empty promises and start looking at the hard evidence of their present day actions. By grounding yourself in what is and not what was promised, you can begin to reclaim your sense of self and build a future that is real. Now that you see that illusion, what is the one step you can take today to start building a future that is truly your own. If you need any help or support, I can offer Zoom, coaching, mentoring, calls, lived experience of 11 years in a manipulationship and 5 years in post-separation, legal intimidation and litigation abuses. And you can reach out. The link will be in the description below the video or in the podcast show notes. Thank you for listening to this episode, and we'll see you next time on Mindset, Money, Success. Bye for now.